Now we will discuss Sharia compliances broadly. As per our syllabus, we have to cover that we can define the meaning of Sharia compliance after reading this unit. Appreciate the importance of Sharia compliance in terms of IFI, that is Islamic financial institutions. Identify the key stakeholders interested in Sharia compliance. Our syllabus is more about meanings, salient feature of Sharia, stakeholders' role, and the related regulations in terms of Sharia compliances. Sharia compliance, what is the meaning of Sharia compliance? Is total adherence to all Sharia principles originated from Quran and the Sunnah and the traditions of Holy Prophet. Product and services coming under the banner of Islamic finance should strictly adhere to the requirement of Sharia principle. There should not be any compromise on it. And availability of the Sharia standard is an important aid to facilitate the Sharia compliances. So all time we should have organized standards in terms of accounting, in terms of finance, in terms of information technology, in terms of all related fields which in a day-to-day manner we need guidance from. So if we have standard available, that will be helping us in order to maintain the quality of the work. And Sharia compliance should be measurable and comparable across the jurisdictions. In terms of Sharia compliance, there are always, compliance is a continuous process and it has to be go all around. We should not do single thing which is prohibited in Islam. And in terms of fulfillment of the necessary requirements, we should do all accordingly, so we will be in the Sharia compliance. When it comes to Sharia compliance, compliance is in so many manners. First of all, Islamic products and services in terms of design and structure should be in compliance. Then how we maintain the legal documentation, this is also very important. In terms of accounting treatments, we have UFI standards, which is about how to do accounting for Mudaraba, Musharika, Jari, Salam, Istasniya. So based on that guidelines, we should follow all the proper compliances in terms of accounting treatments. IT solutions are really important for data security, integrity, and effective services in terms of management, recovery and restructuring techniques, and in terms of risk management, because investor money is involved and we have to follow the risk management techniques in order to mitigate the uncertainty for the investors. When it comes to compliance, there are so many bodies involved into. We have regulators. These are in certain countries, these are called central bank, who is regulating, and there are some other authorities as well. We have bank management, which has to take care of stakeholders, Sharia compliance. There are a lot of stakeholders, and then there are bank shareholders, and of course customer and public in large is already interested with in terms of Sharia compliances. Let's discuss more in detail about regulators. As a central bank, regulators are always concerned about compliance issues related to the licensed financial institutions granted by them in order to that they are really effectively doing Sharia compliances, and that has to be in the article of association of the bank. Consent provision for the establishment of a Sharia advisory body to advise the bank on operations of its banking business in order to ensure that they do not involve any element that is not approved by the religion of Islam. If you want to bring quality in your governance, like as we studied in Corporate Governance Code of SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act 2002, we make different clarifications, a clear segregation between shareholders. We divide them into committees for audit committee, for IT committee, for risk committee, and we hire internal auditors in order to improve the efficiency and effectiveness. So all these steps bring good governance. Same way in IFI, there is a concept of Sharia board. These are competent people in their respective field who has knowledge, ability, competency, and they can contribute towards the best governance in terms of running the IFIs. Therefore, it's mandatory for the licensed institutions to have a Sharia SSB, that is Sharia Supervisory Board. It is into advisory and it is into supervisory. What is the difference? I will explain. In terms of fatwas, of course, advisory board is trying to limit the issuance of fatwas. What is fatwa? This is I will explain in the sources of Islamic commercial contract. But these are the wordings of the competent, knowledgeable scholars who understand Islam, the way of the patterns of Islam, and they give you their wordings which consider as the ultimate, and things if they legitimize something, we go for it. So this is related to fatwa. We limiting in issuing fatwas on the products. Then we have appropriate relevant Islamic windows when it is commercial banking. So we tell them how to offer the Islamic products in the compliance, of course. Sharia Supervisory Board is the trusted body who can issue fatwas, review the whole pursuant to fatwas, and appropriate and relevant to full-fledged IFIs. IFIs has to go for it. And where there is a license is subject, the Islamic bank should comply with all the conditions, so you cannot choose certain things, you have to go for all kind of compliances. We have a very famous body in Bahrain. This is accounting and auditing organization for Islamic financial institution, that is called AOFI. We have AOFI also has one certification called Certified Islamic Professional Accountant, and we study the regulations related to accounting. They issues standard and they give certain guidelines in terms of Sharia compliances, audit, ethics. Same way they emphasize that there is a Sharia Supervisory Board. It should have at least 3 members. They should have expertise in their work, not necessarily only Islamic scholars, but for running a bank you need to be expert in risk management, IT, law, accounting. So you should put these competent people in your banking channel, so the mechanism of and the reputation and the governance system should improve. There should be rules and regulations for this Sharia board, who can join, what are the terms and conditions, tenure, qualifications, competencies. Same way there should be dismissal rules. So dismissal of the member of Sharia board shall require of course a recommendation by the board of directors and subject to the approval of the shareholders in several meetings. So there will be a concept of quorum, there should be a concept of majority and voting rights, and all that stuff should be brought into. It will add value in the process. In terms of Islamic financial institution, they shall have a Sharia Supervisory Board to be appointed by shareholder in their annual general meetings, that is once in a year at least, upon the recommendation of board directors taking into consideration the local legislation and regulations. So we have Islamic laws, we have UFI standards, and of course we have some local situations, local laws. So all this we have to keep in mind when we are going to implement the laws and regulations. In terms of Sharia compliances, there are so many things, of course, which we should know. An independent Sharia advisor should be appointed, and it should have approved by the security commissions who met the following criteria, of course, like first of all, the man should be of a great repute and character when it comes to competent person, advisor, Sharia advisor. From Shari point of view, this guy should be genuine in characters, fair, true, and reputed in terms of his goodwill, respect. He possessed the necessary skills and abilities to carry out his work. He has never been convicted by any offense arising out of a criminal proceedings, and he is not an undischarged bankrupt. So these all characteristics should be in an independent advisor that will work for the in the better interest of the IFIs in terms of their compliances.